This is the continuation of Queen Elisabeth's financial playbook that we started reading yesterday.
Financial playbook to be read after I am no more. Listen carefully.
Negotiations based on public perception. It prevented political pressure tied to publicized numbers. It gave me the freedom to move assets, restructure holdings, make gifts, all without the theater of public scrutiny. I was criticized for this. Called secretive. But consider, every time a public figure announces their net worth, they have just handed every competitor, every government body, every envious adversary, a number to target. Wealth is most durable when it is quiet. Not hidden. Not illegal. Quiet. Your neighbors do not need to know what your investments returned last quarter. Your colleagues do not need to see your portfolio. Speak in values, your principles, your vision, your contribution. Let the numbers remain your private business. The wealthiest people I have ever met, and I have met a great many, share one habit: they do not discuss what they own. Only what they are building. I invested in relationship capital before it had a name. I have met every sitting American president from Harry Truman onward. Every significant head of state. Every major industrialist of the 20th century. Every chancellor of the exchequer, all 17 of them during my reign. People ask what the purpose of those meetings was. Protocol, they assume. Ceremony. Some of it, yes. But I understood something that modern business schools now call network capital. Though I simply called it knowing the right people before you need them. When Prime Minister Harold Wilson needed the Crown's quiet cooperation during the economic crisis of the 1960s, I had already spent years building a relationship of mutual trust. When the question of Commonwealth trade relationships arose, I had personal connections in 46 nations. When Philip and I traveled, and we traveled constantly, we were not sightseeing. We were building infrastructure. Human infrastructure. The doors that opened for British business, for trade agreements, for diplomatic resolutions. Many of them opened because a relationship had been carefully, patiently cultivated, sometimes years before it was needed. You cannot buy the relationship you need at the moment of crisis. It must be built long before. Invest in people. Remember names. Write the note. Attend the function. Return the call. The return on genuine human connection is incalculable, and it compounds, just like any other investment, over time. I owned the brand. The brand made everything else work. Now we arrive at what I believe is the most misunderstood aspect of royal finance. And, I suspect, of your own financial life. The Crown is a brand. This is not a crass observation. It is simply true. When we granted a royal warrant to a business, a chocolatier, a dressmaker, a carmaker, we were not merely endorsing them. We were transferring centuries of accumulated trust onto their product. A bottle of Scotch whisky with a royal warrant sells for more than one without. A hotel that has hosted the royal family commands higher rates, permanently. Weddings, coronations, jubilees, each one generated economic activity that the government measured in billions. My face on a commemorative tin generates revenue decades after the tin is made. Now, you are not a monarch. But you do have a personal brand, whether you have built it deliberately or not. Every piece of content you create. Every introduction you make. Every project you attach your name to, these are deposits or withdrawals from your brand account. I protected my brand with extraordinary care. I did not appear everywhere. I did not comment on everything. I did not lend my name to things unworthy of it. And because I was selective, my presence meant something. Scarcity creates value. In assets, in appearances, in your personal reputation. Be everywhere, and you mean nothing. Be selective, be consistent, be excellent, and your name becomes the asset that earns long after you are no longer in the room.
Go and digest the one he just read. He will continue tomorrow. Subscribe to Wealth Code and turn on the notification button.